Alright guys, how's it going? Got Graduation Day from 1981, directed by Herb Freed. So apparently he was the one who freed Herb for all of us in today's time. Now this is considered like a classic early slasher, and I'll never know why. Like this movie is just not good. Like at all. Like there's like really not a lot of stuff in this movie that I care about whatsoever. And my boy Mike from Fifth Beatle, the real Fifth Beatles, his channel, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. He has great content. He brought it up to me earlier today about just pacing in some of these early slashers, and spot on, because this movie is one of them. Like, there are so many pacing issues in this, that just long stretches of time with just nothing happening, that you just, at some point, you just want to start bashing your head against the wall and hope you get a fucking blood clot, so then some family or member or significant other can prop your corpse up in their room and give you more love and attention because you'll enjoy it more than this movie. Like, I really don't know why this is considered a classic. I mean, we have Christopher George in here, which I completely forgot that he was in this movie, which isn't a surprise with how forgettable most of this movie is. We have Linnea Quigley in here, so we get to see some tits from her like always, but let's be honest, Quigley can't fucking hold a film running, like, unless it's a fucking porno or something. Her inclusion really doesn't help this movie at all either. But we start off with the track race, and this girl's heart knew exactly when to stop. It knew that it had to win the race. She wins the race, and then the heart had dramatic timing to just stop beating right then and there, and she dies. And it's so distracting because if you watch, it's so obvious too. If you watch the opening scene in this movie, like the number on her chest, on her shirt or jersey, changes back and forth from 45 to 40, and it's so distracting. It's like, who the fuck am I supposed to be rooting for now? Go number 45, 40. Fucking like, it goes back and forth many, many times. And I don't know why they couldn't just keep the same jersey on the actress. I don't know. It seems like a very easy continuity error to avoid. And then we have a pervy driver, like always, is trying to feel Ann up in the car, the sister of Laura who died at the beginning. I feel bad for women, man. Like, there are people like that out there. A whole bunch of men out there that are just fucking perverts and just borderline rapists. If I had to deal with getting in a car or anywhere and having someone stranger stroking my legs or fucking trying to touch me like every single second of every day, I wouldn't leave my home. I would just never go out into society. So props to all the women out there who have to deal with that shit all the time, because I would just become a recluse. I'm not dealing with people touching me all over the place. Get the fuck out of here. Unless it's someone I want them to be touching me all over the place. But then I wouldn't be in a strange van with a stranger when that's happening, so it's all a moot point. And then the girl jogging gets caught by the killer, and he paints the camera lens red because we don't see shit. That's another thing with this movie, is that there's two types of slashers for me that I enjoy. I mean, I love most slashers, but the reason we watch these movies, for me and for most other slasher fans I always talk to, great kills, great gore, gratuitous nudity, and that's basically it. And this movie doesn't have any of that besides Quigley's tits for a little bit, which is, like I said, always fine, but she ain't carrying this picture. And the kills in this movie just aren't good either. Like, there's like maybe one or two that's a little cool. It's like, all right, that's not bad. Besides that, and then when you have like 25 minutes in between kills of nothing happening, it gets really taxing, like really fast. And then that's the picture that they went with when the coach is, what's his name? Fucking Christopher George's character. When he's trying to get the picture taken of all of them, and they're all like, oh, we gotta wait for this girl, the one who just got murdered. And then they finally take the picture. That's the picture they went with. They all look miserable in that picture. Like, they all look like they're all reflecting each on like the worst experience they've ever had in their lives. And that's the picture they went with. They just took one picture. That's kind of strange in its own right. Like, usually a photographer, they'll take at least 2-3 pictures. You could pick out the one you like. They just picked out that one, and it looks awful. Like, that was not a picture of the track team that I would want in the school to remember them. And then Anne is the main character. She's in the Navy or some shit, and she has a dickhead stepdad, and skip, skip, skip. And then crossing off the victims in the picture, the track picture, and like with the red lipstick or pen, whatever the killer's using. We see this in so many movies with killers always having to mark off something or put the next victim in a scrapbook, or even in real life, serial killers always taking trophies and stuff. Like, I don't get it. Like, the whole main point of fucking killing people is you don't want to get caught. Just leaving around any type of paper trail or anything that can link you, or having a trophy on you. Like, I get it, it's a serial killer thing. You need to have a trophy to remind you. Not every serial killer did. A lot do. But I mean, they're pretty fucking intelligent people. But at the same time, they're as stupid as someone with traumatic brain injury that also just survived a gunshot wound straight to the head. Like, they're still kind of with us, like, kind of. But, like, that's how stupid they can be when it comes to other things, like not getting caught. Like, just don't do any of that. Just keep it to yourself. As they always say, a secret is best kept when it's just between one person. Just keep your killing to yourself. Then you wouldn't have gotten the picture discovered later. And they don't need those graduation caps. Like when they're doing like the practice, like the day before graduation day, and the principal's giving the whole speech, and this is what you're going to do, and you're going to take the diploma and shake the hand, and don't be fucking stupid about it. When he dismisses them, they like half of them throw their graduation caps on the ground and just walk out of the fucking auditorium. Like, don't they need those for the next day to graduate? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of just nitpicking in this movie just to pad the runtime of this video. Just like the movie pads its runtime. And it's an hour and 37 minutes, this movie, which is too long for a slasher film, especially for this one. And then we have Kevin that we meet, was Laura's boyfriend before she died. Seems like a good guy. And then we get another friend jump scare, which I've bitched enough about cat jump scares on here. Easy way to fix like a person you know creeping up on you jump scare. Have the character who's getting creeped up on immediately sock them in the eye. That's all you gotta do. In any future horror movies, just have it like that. If you need to put a jump scare in there with somebody creeping up on someone they know or a friend bumping into each other, let the protagonist or whoever's being scared sock them right in the fucking eye. Give them a black eye. Then it evens itself out a little bit. It's like, that's fucking stupid with this jump scare, but hey, they got a black eye out of it. They deserved it. Be a lot more easy to digest. And then we get the whole gymnast scene with the girl doing her whole routine, and Christopher George, the coach, is just licking his lips while he's watching. Like, every adult male in this movie is a fucking sexual deviant. Every one of them. The principal with the secretary, and I mean, that seems consensual, but who knows? And then fucking the coach with licking his lips watching the gymnasts, and just his whole demeanor with the girls that he teaches and shit, which is so hard picturing Christopher George coaching gymnastics. Like, that's hysterical, just think of that. The music teacher who fucks Linnea Quigley for her to pass the class. Everyone is a sexual deviant in this movie. The bitch, what? Oh, this bitch is shaving her legs in the bathroom sink in her school. Like, they have showers. You can't shave in the shower? That's fucking disgusting. Who wants to come into the bathroom and use the fucking sink and have your leg hair all over the fucking place? You better have cleaned that. And I know that she didn't, because she fucking shaves her leg and then just puts the razor on top of the fucking sink. So she didn't clean shit. So she deserves that poke through the neck just like she gets. And she gets the fencing sword through the neck and it comes out the back. That looks alright. That looks not too bad. That music teacher doesn't destroy that tape, like, ASAP, like, absolutely immediately, when he's in the boiler room and the two kids play the recording of him talking about his dick and how he calls it a fucking cobra, and the girl that he just had the fucking affair with Linnea Quigley's character and fucked her in the music office. He doesn't immediately break that tape. Like, that's some damning evidence against you that you really don't want in that situation. The first thing he should have done is not caress the tape recorder. He should have taken the fucking not VHS, cassette tape out and smashed it into little pieces. And then burned it. And then took that pile of ashes and dumped it in the water somewhere, like some body of water. Something. He does nothing. So that evidence is still out there, and we'll get a sequel one day about the rapey music teacher. And Coach Michaels really isn't wrong here. When Anne comes up to him and confronts him and starts saying that he killed Laura, he's really not wrong, man. I mean, yeah, he pushed them. Like, that's what coaches do. But he didn't fucking kill her. How the hell was he supposed to know she was going to have a heart attack or a blood clot or whatever the fuck happens to her? He had no way of knowing that. So the whole thing with him being portrayed as a killer for, being the coach and pushing her hard? I don't agree. Sorry. Like, I agree with Christopher George. Absolutely. Like, he didn't kill her. There's no way he could have foreseen that happening. So all of that is just fucking stupid. Then we get the football kill, which inventive, but it doesn't look good. Like, there's no gore, there's no real kill there. It's just the guy catching the football with the metal rod on the end of it, and it goes through him, and then that's it. Like, I don't know, man. The kills just aren't good in here. And hey, a guy actually playing guitar. I bring this up all the time as a musician, that I hate seeing fake bands or people that aren't really playing instruments in a movie. That a guy with the acoustic guitar, when Kevin's playing the harmonica, looks like he's actually playing guitar. There could be some synchronization issues with the sound, which I don't doubt with this fucking movie, but he's actually playing. Good for him. They got somebody to actually play guitar. Then that band scene, which I also think they're playing, because I'm pretty sure that was an actual band who signed up for this film and had that scene in it, and they used some of their other music. So I'm pretty sure that they're playing, because it looks like the guitars and the basses and the drummer. It looks like they're all playing what basically is being played through the music. So 2 for 2. You don't see this often. So we'll give Graduation Day plus just for being musically semi-realistic. But that band scene goes on forever. That's what I mean with the pacing issues. This movie just has such long scenes that we don't give a fuck about at all. The whole scene with the gymnast, and I didn't pay to fucking see a woman doing gymnastics. I paid for fucking kills and gore and tits and slashing. And yeah, I didn't pay for it, but I paid with my time and more time to discuss it on YouTube for fucking Herb Fried, director. I'm taking my time out here. I don't want to see fucking gymnastics for 5 minutes or a band playing for fucking 8 minutes. It really feels like it's close to 10 minutes. That scene goes on for way too long. And then it cuts in, and the band's still playing while Linnea Quigley's character is being chased through the woods. And those woods that are used multiple times in this film has to be the director's backyard. Or a family member, or someone's property related to the director or the producer or something like that. Because that's the only woods that they use in this whole movie. And it's the same fucking woods. And it's the same section of the woods with the bush on the left. It's the same fucking spot every single time. So that's definitely had to be somebody involved. Property or backyard or front yard or who the fuck knows. But it looks fucking very cheap. It just looks very cheap. And yes, this is such a low budget slasher film from the early 80s. But we've had a lot of low budget slashers from the 80s that did a great job with the budget that they had. This movie, then this, I don't know if it's just the transfer that's on Tubi right now. I don't think it is, because I think I remember this from past rewatches. But there is just a static sound throughout most of this movie. It sounds like a bunch of flies, like a swarm of flies buzzing around. And it just keeps on going. Not in every scene, it's not noticeable, but in a lot of them, you constantly hearing, what the fuck is with this static? It's they couldn't even get the sound design fucking anywhere near close to acceptable. But I don't know. Then the Volt Jumper, when he jumps onto the fucking spikes, that's my favorite kill in the movie. And it's not even that cool. So that's saying it right there. It is a cool kill compared to all the others in this movie. Having him jump over and having where did he get the time to set up all those spikes underneath there when the cops are looking around for the kids that are missing or any of that? Who knows? But it's a cool kill. And then the coach gets blamed for the killings, which I don't know why. Then find out Kevin, Laura's boyfriend, is the killer. Then the coach gets killed for zero reason, and this cop's job would be done. He would probably be brought up on charges. They shoot the coach like 2 or 3 times in the chest, where he's not armed. They don't even have the whole story. No one saw him murder anybody. Nothing. All they had was 2 girls run out of the school screaming, "The coach is trying to kill us." That's it. No, nothing else. And this cop just fucking shoots him dead? Unarmed. Get the fuck out of here, man. Are you serious? Like, that cop's job is done. His fucking life is probably not done because cops will get away with anything. They'll fucking kick a gun over by him and say, "Yeah, he was armed." And there goes that. But his career will be fucking done. Are you serious? Her real name is Blondie, the secretary. I thought that was just the pervy principal calling her Blondie the whole movie because of her blonde hair, and they have like a relationship together. I was surprised by the end when I was like, when Anne calls her Blondie, it's like, her name's really Blondie? Really? I did not think that. And then where the fuck did Laura's body come from? When Anne goes to Kevin's house at the end, soon as she walks in, you see the entire room. You see the whole bed. No one's there. And then you see some shots of her walking in the room, and then she just says, "Oh, excuse me," and this fucking Laura's corpse in the cap and gown and everything, propped up, sitting on the bed. She was not there. Like, I would love an explanation for that, because there's no way that corpse crawled up on the bed itself, and there's no way that Kevin was there and unseen by Anne while she was standing in the middle of the room that propped that corpse's body up on the bed there. Like, no way. And the whole ending has kind of like a Psycho-esque vibe to me, I guess. Kind of probably just because it's a guy's hanging on to a loved one's dead corpse, but kind of Psycho-esque to me. And then Kevin and the corpse fall out the window, and then I think it's hysterical that she goes to leave the house and she opens the door and Kevin's just walking through the door with the corpse in his arms again. Like the fall didn't hurt any of them at all. And when they fall through that window with the corpse's feet are like normal, clean as can be feet. Like, they're not like decomposed or anything like the rest of the corpse. I don't know, just something I noticed on this. Like, you just see bare feet and they just look like totally normal feet. It's like, all right, so they didn't do the makeup on the feet for this doll or whatever the fuck they used jumping out of this window. Then Anne runs a triathlon to get away, even though it didn't seem like Kevin was in like much of a hurry to track her down. He was busy bringing Laura back up to his bedroom. Then they never checked the bleachers, really. Like, they've been looking for these 6 kids that were missing from the night before. And yeah, there's only like 2 cops in the town for some reason. But they didn't think to look. They're track stars. The bleachers are right by the track. I don't know. That's like fucking having a bunch of like apple farmers missing and then like not checking the apple orchard or nearby. I don't know. No one noticed that. Like, I don't buy that for a fucking second. And then I don't know whose head that is. There's someone's decapitated head there that Anne sees, but it's not a character in this movie. Actually, it looks like the girl. I think there was. I don't remember. I think there was like Linnea Quigley wasn't originally in this, right? Didn't they recast her? So that's probably what it is. It's probably the head from the character that Linnea Quigley replaced the actress for. That's the only thing I could think of, because that head is that woman's face is nowhere in this movie. I had no idea who it was. I was like, at that point, I was like, all right, whoever the fuck that is, she's missing a head, she's dead, so it doesn't matter to her. And then Kevin's dead, and then Kevin's alive. And then he's not really alive. It's fucking, what a stupid ending this is. And then Anne's in bed and she's leaving the next morning to go back to Guam, which is where she came from. I feel like they just picked like the most distant like place that you could think of, like whenever the saying where people, oh, he's in fucking Guam, like fucking middle of nowhere. I feel like they just picked Guam as where she was from just for that, like just for her to be as far away as possible, and she came back just for that. But nope, he's not alive, Kevin. He just comes through the room and she's having a hallucination of him holding the knife up, and then it turns out just being the dickhead stepfather holding his liquor bottle like a knife for some reason. And this guy's such a dick, this fucking stepdad. And then Anne drives away and the movie ends. Like, and then Christ, it's over. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is one of those early slashers that every time, which is rare that I'll rewatch it, I always say to myself, yeah, I'm not watching this again. Yeah, it's just nothing in it for me at all. And then I'll end up rewatching it again, like randomly, and be like, all right, maybe I'll give it another chance. Nope, same shit. And the only reason I even did it for this video is because it's slasher month and it's regarded as a classic early 80s slasher, so had to knock out Graduation Day, but no, it doesn't do it for me at all. It is so slow. There are so many pacing issues, there's so many editing issues, there's so many sound issues, and just things that aren't synchronized between the voices and the sound and what's going on screen. And the kills are fucking lame for the most part, except for like those two I mentioned. The characters are, who gives a fuck about the characters in slasher movies, but like still, even none of them are likable in any sort of way at all. Christopher George gives a great performance, like he always does, playing himself basically in all the movies that he's been in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, and that's basically it. Like, I really can't give any more to this movie. But that's Graduation Day. Hope you enjoy this movie, because I'm never watching it again. Like I said that last night, and I forgot to mention the video with Friday 09, the remake. I gave it plenty of chances. I can tell you right now, that's one movie I will not be watching again. Unless somebody, like a friend who likes it, we're chilling, they want to throw it on, or some scenario like that. Besides that, I will never throw that movie on again, like by myself, just to watch it. Same with this movie. At this point, I've seen it several times. Does nothing. Never watching it again. But alright guys, I'll have another thing up or two throughout the night. But take care, and I'll talk to you soon.